So the accommodation. So at the moment you've got 18 places.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah. So how long do
we've got a couple of move-on units as well. We used to just do primarily 18 in the main building, but then we used to do like Oxford House models. So afterwards, we'd have sort of 2 or 3 individuals that had done well that had then move out together and be in a sort of set tenancy, and but then coming back and volunteering or working within the main sort of project. But past 18 months, we've had to reduce them down, or what we do is basically when we get somebody who enters full-time employment, we basically transfer the tenancy across, lock, stock and barrel to them. And then in the old days, we'd then go out and get another tenancy somewhere and kit it all out. But financially, it just became too much for us. And like I sort of said, I think particularly with the advent of Hillgrove now, I think we've got other plans in the pipeline to develop, like move on accommodation from that point onwards. But our oldest or our longest resident with us, Sed's been with us probably for about 7 years now. He lived with us in the main building for about 18 months, 2 years, then moved out to like a bungalow annex that we've got in the back. And then about 3 years ago, we moved him into like a forever home. Then Sed's a slight exception. He's someone that's been linked in with us probably for over a decade, but had a couple of false storms, a couple of missed starts and what have you. But like I say, that was the thing for us then, was when we moved him into this place, was that I wanted it. I want it to be his until he dies, basically, or is the long and the short of it. Until he says he's had enough and he wants to go and move on elsewhere. Because again, it's kind of sort of. I think particularly for some of the guys who've been at this older or longer, when you've been doing this for like 40, 50 years, they just want some peace and somewhere, a front door of their own that they can close, or somewhere where they can get on with being like, not being old, but do you know what I mean? Where they can just enjoy the retirement, I suppose, because he's at a retirement age. It's just all he's been retiring from. He's like 40 years of alcoholism, do you know what I mean? But yeah, again, to sort of see him, like I say, he's been able to go and travel a little bit, and he's always wanted to go to Egypt and stuff, so he's been able to sort of fulfill a load of ambitions and sort of stuff that he's got there. So but I think that will be probably our last move on unit at that point. In that Oxford House sort of model. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons to it. It's great for the individual, but it's very expensive for us to manage, and also as well that once one moves out, it's very difficult then to get somebody else new to move in with, so we always end up with like one person and a 2-person tenancy, etc.